One thing we as South Africans are very much aware of currently is that SAPS, Home Affairs, Immigration heavily relies on social media to report things, meaning these people are not doing their job. The story goes far beyond Chidima, who was also reported by someone from social media. And then we have Babel, that is clearly practicing modern day slavery, according to me. But yeah, they are practicing modern day slavery, mistreating workers, and also they discovered that there's illegal immigrants that are working for Babel. It doesn't end just at Babel. We have Ocean Basket, we have Steers or Spare, and then we have all these other restaurants that also hire immigrants because they can pay them low wages. And I spoke about this in my previous videos that these people are hiring immigrants solely for low wages, and some of them are mistreated, and most of these immigrants will accept any type of treatment from their bosses because they need the money. Please listen to the compilation and then I'll come back with the rest of my commentary.
This has occurred.
Now, when we're doing our inspections, like what you have said, we did find that there were two in Babel that did not have the necessary documentations. Normally what we do, if people are working and they don't have the documentations to be working, they get arrested. We don't only arrest them alone, we also arrest the employer. What we have done now, we did find the two from Babel. They've been arrested. They don't have documentations to be in the country. And then we've also arrested the employer.
So since I posted the video Izolo, some of the managers at Babel did try to call me, contact me, but I've not been returning their calls or their messages. One of the managers even went as far as DMing me on Instagram, offering to refund me for a uniform as well as the equipment in exchange for me taking down the video. Obviously, I did not respond to them. And it really saddens me because they think this is really just about the money. Yes, I did incur financial loss, but it's more about the principle. I thought that they would admit their wrongdoing and try to better the working conditions of their employees, but I don't think they see themselves in the wrong.
I'm from South Africa.
Where are you from? Which country are you from? You don't have to lie, my dear. Tell us exactly where you're from.
I'm South Africa. You don't know South Africa.
Where are you from? Which country are you from?
I'm from South Africa.
But you're not South African, eh?
No, I born South Africa. Look at me now. I'm from KwaZulu Natal. Minum Zulu. Yakulum Zulu is straight. You understand? Okay, can I show you my ID? Smart card, can I show you?
In South Africa, a birth certificate for undocumented migrants can be bought for 1,000 rands, the equivalent of at least $55, while a passport can cost up to 45,000 rands. Yep. But of course, this is illegal.
So when I heard the story about the girl that worked at Babel that was being exploited, and she felt like a lot of these restaurant owners were not practicing the labor law, and she stated that she worked at Babel, and by the time she decided to resign or leave the job, she was the one that was owing the restaurant. She stated that she was made to buy her own uniform. If cutlery ever went missing, she would be fined. If they decided to go on a lunch break and maybe they forgot to throw away some of their trash, they would be fined. Like literally, you would be fined for every small mistake that you would make in that restaurant, which led to her now owing the restaurant. And then on top of that, so finally the news breaks out, the video trends, and then now the department finally decides to do their job. Something that they should have been doing all along, but clearly they're not. This is another issue that I have with our department and the police system and everyone. They heavily rely on social media. They rely on news. They rely on Twitter. If it didn't trend, then it's not worth it. Even though you'll find that there's countless people that have been reporting this to the department or to labor offices, but they never really do anything about it if it's just one person or if it's just 100 people. But let it trend on Twitter. then finally they know how to do their job. So the Hawks and Home Affairs and the Department of Labor, they finally decided to go and do their job, and they discovered that Ocean Basket and Babel owe over 1.3 million in unpaid wages. Mind you, these people don't have any contracts. When you get hired on the spot. You don't sign anything. There's no minimum wages, meaning you get paid on commission or by tips. And the girl, Mihlali, who stated that her tips were also, they would also take like 30% or 10% of your tips. Whatever money that you made via tips, they'll take that also. Meaning you were literally, this is modern day slavery. And another concerning part is the fact that the people that own the restaurants are actually foreigners. Another issue is that if it's a white person, we never question whether they're foreigners or not. And it's like we don't have issues. We won't even ask if they entered the country legally or not. Like, this is another issue that we need to address, that I feel like this whole illegal immigration issue, we are solely focusing on majority of like black people. We are focusing on black people, and we never question these white people that own restaurants, that own like a chunk of real estate here in South Africa. For example, Cape Town. A lot of foreigners own real estate in Cape Town. That's another issue that we need to discuss, but this video is not about that. So Babel and Ocean Basket. Ocean Basket is allegedly owing about 800,000 of unpaid wages to their workers. Their workers also don't have any minimum wages. They get paid on commission or tips. And mind you, the Ocean Basket in Men Lane has been open for over 10 years, I'm sure. So this restaurant has been operating for over 10 years, breaking labor laws. And then we have Babel that opened just a couple of months ago. Also, they are practicing the same thing. I feel like if they were to actually do their job, if these officials were actually doing their job, they'd discover that majority of the restaurant business are actually practicing the same thing. Because if you ask anyone that has worked as a waiter, as a cleaner within the restaurant business, they complain about the same things. And there's no way that none of these people have ever went to the labor office and complained and filed a claim. You'll find that there's countless people that have actually reported this to the labor law, but nothing has been done about it. Because we live in a country where it is literally being ran by social media. We live in a country where if it doesn't trend, then these officials don't do their job. What type of country are we living in? I also showed a video where a Nigerian, I think, or I'm not sure if he's a Nigerian or not, and then there's a Malawian man, Somalian I mean, that stated that they are South Africans and could hardly speak any South African language. And they even stated that they had IDs. How? And then we have the Chidima issue, where people are able to buy IDs as they please, where people are able to literally... South Africa is... Why do I feel like I'm in the actual banana republic? What is going on? What is going on? And I feel like at this point I'm ranting, and I really wanted to discuss that whole article that spoke about the unfair treatment that these workers are subjected to. And another issue that I have is the fact that they hire illegal foreigners and they don't do any paperwork. They hire a lot of these illegal foreigners because they know they cannot complain. They cannot take them to labor law because they have their own issues of being an illegal immigrant, an undocumented illegal immigrant. So it's gonna make it almost impossible for them to go and report that I'm being unfairly treated at work. So they are technically subjected to accept any and every treatment. I was wondering, why are there so many Zimbabweans? Why are there so many like foreigners within the restaurant business? Most of the waiters that serve you are foreigners. I don't know if people ever notice whenever they go out, but that is the case. And then when you go to a Pick and Pay or ShopRite, you'll find that it's actually South African people. What is going on? What is going on? Why is the department not doing its job? I'm baffled. I'm baffled by this whole story. But please let us know what you think on the comment section. I feel like this was a whole rant. But please let us know what you think on the comment section about Babel and Ocean Basket owing 1.3 million of unpaid wages. 1.3. And the other restaurant has been operating for 10 years. And mind you, Ocean Basket has a lot of franchises here in South Africa. So you can imagine how much they actually owe. Anyways, let me leave it there. Please let us know what you think on the comment section. And do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.